Welcome, everyone. This is Polly Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Terry Edwin,
Hi, hi.
Sanswinda,
Hello.
Guerendis,
Hello, everyone.
Arendis,
Hey, everybody.
and Calabathian.
It's a full deck tonight. We're just not playing with a full deck tonight.
We never play with a full deck.
Well, then let's get decked out and see what's in the game news for this week. And we have a number of little pieces of information. Now, the first little bit is that next week they are expecting the first Bulber build for update 30.
Wow.
So you can have your first little peek at what's going on in the new zone. And this particular build is expected to only include the content update, meaning the quests and the landscape, though probably not the super spoiler stuff, which they sometimes like to hold back until the very end on there. Now, one thing they note is not going to have probably any significant other stuff, such as the landscape adjustment ability, and it's not going to have brawler. They did make that clear in it. It's just going to be the content update. Yes?
Speaking of spoilery stuff, I mean, they kind of ruined that with their so-called brawler, oops, back a couple months ago.
Well,
I mean, all we know about the class is that it is a class. We don't know anything else about it, so.
Yes,
True.
it just, like brawler TBA or whatever it was. It was like, what?
Well,
what are you doing here?
Oh, they spotted it a long time ago. But yes,
but anyway, this
yes.
is going to be the content for the new area that we're going to have, the Blood of Azog. So we'll get our first view of that next week, barring any unforeseen events.
Hint, hint.
Also, there have been a few other things to note concerning service. The first of these is that the state logged in for 8 hours option has been temporarily removed because apparently some people are having trouble with it. So they disabled that.
Boo. I miss it.
Yeah, I'm sure we missed that. It's probably with me currently questing in Minas Tirith. It's sort of like, it's probably isn't buying me all that much anyway, I guess, because if I'm in questing anywhere near Minas Tirith, I've got to be in the 64-bit client, and the 64-bit client, it doesn't work as well with. It was really wonderful how it works with the 32-bit client, where I'm not only logged in, but I can. Actually, now I remember. Let's see. With the 32-bit client, I didn't even have to worry about the 8-hour stay logged in thing because I just left it on the server select screen, so I didn't even need it then. Never mind. But I think the state login thing is the thing that made it a little bit more tolerable with the 64-bit client, because the 64-bit client changing servers was always a pain. Also, they noted that support is ending for Windows XP, Vista, and earlier operating systems on June 8.
Hey,
Now,
y'all. My Windows 3.1X is no longer going to be supported.
I think that was removed a long time ago. I think Windows 3.1X, isn't that a 16-bit operating system?
Something like that.
So I doubt LOTRO ever ran on that, but you get the
But
idea.
Asteroids looks great.
Probably. Yes. So if you are running anything prior to Windows 7, it's a good time to start considering upgrading your operating system. they did note that they aren't directly disabling, or they don't know of anything that's directly going to make it impossible to run with it. But if there are any issues that you have in attempting to run on an earlier operating system after June 8, they will not support trying to fix it. If you have any issues, then
it's on
They're
you.
gonna be
it's
yeah.
on you, and
You
upgrade
have
is
any
all they can
issues?
say.
You have any issues? They're gonna be like yelling, "I can't help you."
Right.
Welcome to Macworld.
Yeah. Now, note the date June 8 on there, and that date is most likely it's a pretty good guess that that is the target date that they're shooting for the release of Blood of Ozog, because you would think that would have to be on a date of an update. So the best guess is that June 8 will be the date for the Blood of Ozog, but of course that could get delayed on. But I'll say that's the earliest at which Blood of Ozog would be released. And finally, passwords have been reset on all accounts that have been dormant for more than 2 years. And that means that if you are logging in after being away for more than 2 years, then you're going to have to go through the forgot password system on there. And the reason they're doing this is for security, because dormant passwords are the most likely passwords that someone might find and easily get compromised. So, and of course, least likely to be reported, because if someone has been playing for 2 years and someone stole their password and got to the game with it, no one's going to notice until all the damage has been done. And those are three. So
It
those
is
are
a scary, scary thing when your account gets hacked. Let me tell you.
Oh, that's right. You did have that happen to you.
I did, and it wasn't a dormant account either. I had been on it the night before.
Yeah, but that allowed you to detect it a little bit more quickly than it would have been otherwise.
It was terrifying. I had to prove I was me.
You had to prove that it was you. Yes, that's always the tricky bit.
I know
And
who you are, but
yeah.
why?
All right.
I
Listen,
actually thought she said, "I know you are, but what am I?" I was like, "What? That doesn't don't what?" Anyway,
It still doesn't make too much sense. It's Pee Wee Herman. Come on.
yeah.
Well, because they had changed the email associated with the account, so when I tried to use the forgot password, it didn't work.
yeah, it's always the tricky bit.
And then the rep who looked at the ticket was like, well, yeah, this isn't the email on file. And I, fortunately, I'm a Google Pack rat, so I still had the original confirmation email from when my account was created 9 years ago.
Yes.
I said, here, if this was my password when I first made it, I promise I'm me. It only took a couple of hours. It wasn't too bad. But it was terrifying for those for a couple of hours.
Yeah. Let's then head to the beacon, where we have the LOTRO beacon, where we see on the top Elrond outside of the last homely house.
For once.
For once. One of those rare times you see him outdoors. And even then there was a little tongue-in-cheek one where he was saying, "No, I didn't see Bilbo. I've been in my library all day."
That was funny.
In the community spotlight, Green Dragon Friday is a weekly Hobbit-focused in-character roleplay event that will soon celebrate its 13th anniversary. Whee!
Teenager now.
Congratulations to everyone who's been involved over the years, and you learn about their May 21st party on Laurelin over on the Lost Matham block. A 13-year event. That's
Weekly event.
weekly event. Yeah,
That's impressive.
that is impressive, especially in a game.
Yeah.
Ratty-
Weekly role event that's been going on for 13 years. That is
13.
impressive.
Well, if they were going to say it was going in anywhere, I guess Laurelin would be the place where it's been going on.
Yeah.
Radagast Pipe returns on Saturday. You could read more about the concert on Landrival. Actually, never mind, it's already passed. Maybe there will be information there on how you could see a replay of it, perhaps. And the Spring Fling 5 hits Brandywine on May 22nd. That's a week from the recording of this. You can learn more about this large multi-band concert on LOTROartists.com.
It must be that time of year again, folks. The lead up to Weatherstock.
Yes. Shirefest 2021 band signups are now underway. Speaking of lead-ups. And the next Housing Week in Middle-earth contest by Decamillo begins next week. And now comes our weekly comment. If your characters could take a guidebook with them about some subject, what book would they take?
How to permanently get rid of arachnids.
Arachnid killing.
I don't know. I've quested with some of y'all. I think you need a book of maps.
That would be called an atlas.
I mean, maybe a book of like how to create flame
steps. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
What were you saying, Sans?
Oh, I cut out Terry. I didn't mean to. Terry?
Oh, I said how to start a dwarf war in 12 easy steps, but I was kidding.
Guys,
dwarves are already
You
writing
actually
it.
need a guidebook for that. You just need to watch Durin.
Well, we're going to see the next 3 steps probably in update 30, right?
Right.
My characters would probably need a guidebook on how to quest with lunatics. And I don't mean y'all.
How to quest with lunatics.
How to quest with lunatics.
Well, especially if Morkandir ends up with the other companions that we discussed.
Yes.
Oh, he is. He is.
Yes.
You know, my character would settle for how to make a working flamethrower for use against arachnids.
Oh,
I figured you would want one on how to train Mumax as mounts.
Oh, well, that's easy. I just walk up to them and pet them and they fall in love. My hobbit is really
don't forget the
naive.
herbs.
Huh?
Mumak Whisper.
Don't forget the herbs.
Oh yeah, yes. I'll take the herbs with me. I've already learned how to calm one down, so now I just need to convince it that it should let me mount it, and I'll be fine. Then I'll just have an awesome Mumak mount.
And I will say
won't
that
be able to see
you
me
probably
on top
weigh a
of it,
lot
though.
less. You probably weigh a lot less than the Haradrim that were riding it before.
Right, it won't even notice my weight. In fact, from the ground, you probably won't even be able to see me. But
The
it'll still
ultimate
be
depravity.
awesome.
Sorry.
That's even funnier, actually, not being able to see the hobbit that's riding the Mumak.
Just a random Mumak running through Bree. There would be places, obviously, where you cannot let people ride a Mumak. I understand. But it would be funny.
Okay. Now, Mary Rose Morningstar says that she would like the Middle Earth for Dummies.
Dwarf wants an idiot's guide to falling off a cliff. That would be a fun one to carry around.
Considering how much time we spend going back and forth because certain rangers can't read black speech, my character's like a guide to black speech. To cut out some of that running. Though it says right here.
Oh, yes.
How about some sort of maximizing inventory space guide, or like what's the Marie Kondo version of LOTRO?
Does it spark joy?
That's
Well,
great.
this is
It's
the block
fine.
speed. It's not sparking
It's-
joy.
I
Tide
was just
Dwarf
saying,
says,
it's fine to
"An
have it in your
guide to
bag
falling
as
off a
long as
cliff."
it sparks joy.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. It has to spark joy if you're going to leave it in your bag.
It needs to spark joy if you want to leave it in your bag. All right. There are probably a few things in my bag that don't spark joy. So
There are a lot of things in my bag that don't spark joy that I honestly cannot. I don't even know why they're still in my bag, except I, for some reason, cannot bring myself to get rid of them.
The other day I noticed I have, on Arendis, who's like level 103, I think. I think I have like level 50 food in there for some reason.
And you're holding on to it just in case, because you
Never
might run
need it.
out of the other food, and then you would need the level 50 stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Makes no
Hello.
sense.
Celeborn would have the Idiot's Guide to Elves, and he would be passing those things out like leaflets all the way through Rohan. Every single time somebody said something about derogatory about an elf, he would be like, "Here, read it."
I could just imagine you stuffing a copy of it into Terry Adwin's bag.
Why would I stuff one into Terry's bag?
Because I'm not a fan of elves, typically. California doesn't run with those alts, though.
Okay.
Yes. I was about to say, wait a minute. Are we talking about the same elf? The same Terry here?
I'm sorry, I have Terry going, stupid human, in my head anytime.
Uh-huh. I haven't done any elf bashing in a while, actually, because we've been focused on dwarves. So, the dwarf war thing. Dwarf stupidity has kind of eclipsed some of the elf bashing. But
Ooh.
like the fact that dwarves cannot do math. You picked up 6 of these things. How are we putting out 12? This does not work.
Obviously, we cut them in half and hope nobody notices, Terry.
Or let's set traps because that's not possibly going to end badly.
Oh well. Let's then
Spoiler, it ends badly.
Let's head into the fan site news, where last week we said hello to Lalia.
That's actually not what we did with Lalia.
Hey, Lalia, how you doing? I'll put you up for the night.
Should we be concerned that they think this is an appropriate way to say hello?
Let me take your shirt, Lalia.
You can hang around. We don't mind.
Oh, don't worry about the blood. We'll use the Formula 409 in order to wipe it out.
What they think we're doing. Hi, Lalia. Hi, wiggle. What we're really doing, if you've ever seen pictures of insects that have been pinned, that's what we're doing. Put her under glass. She's a specimen.
Next,
I say that a little too.
Weren't we really mostly wanting to pin cloaks like Lalia, though, and it just got kind of changed as we went?
Yeah, I wanted to
That's how
hang
it
the cloaks
started.
on the wall like Lalia. Or like Lalia has in her shop.
Yes.
Thank you for the
It's
context, because
amazing
I
how
missed
things mutate.
episode, and I'm very confused about what's going on.
We were
Go for
discussing
Lalia to what
We were
now?
discussing housing items that we really wanted, and I really wanted like a mannequin for my house that I could dress up in my own outfit, or like cloak hooks so you could put your own cloaks on the wall.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I mean, Lalia gets to hang cloaks up in her shop. I want to be able to hang cloaks up in my house.
And we have that cloak hook that cloak rack that you get from being. Actually, it's a
Oh, it's a hat rack.
Yeah, that's a hat rack. Yeah.
And you have to
You do
trade
get a
it
cloak
in.
rack for the anniversary.
Yeah, you had to
One
trade
of
it
the
in for
anni-
each time to upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the anniversary quests does give you a cloak rack, but it already has cloaks on it.
Yeah.
And they're
Can't put your own on.
plain. You can't put the nice fancy ones on to showcase to everybody.
The 7th Forest of Oaks took place recently on Laurelin, and you can read more about the event over on the blog of a small piece of LOTRO. Occasional Hero blogs about returning to a life of burglary. You can read about the returning to the game over on the blog.
I
Wandering around
actually read that. That was pretty good, except for the fact where he thinks that burglars are OP, which, granted, the last time he played one was 10 years ago, and by comparison, they're maybe a little, but burglars are really not OP compared to like every other class in the game.
Maybe he just takes to that one so well that he mastered the class immediately. Wandering around Arda puts together an angry stone carver. You can see screenshots of the outfit over on the blog. An angry stone carver?
It's a good outfit. I saw the post.
The title of the post is Rage of the Stone Carver. It's
Yeah.
arcade.
Yeah.
And the only disappointment I had for this outfit is that you can't really see the shoes. I mean, they mention what shoes are used, but you don't really see them, so...
He's so angry that his rage is bending him over to hide the shoes. That's what we'll go with.
Shoe rage. Then...
Go ahead. I was just clearing my throat.
LOTRO Stream is your first stop to find LOTRO on Twitch. This week, Wicked Eye Gaming goes without a guide. Maybe he should check on the weekly comment then to see if there's a guide that he needs. Lady Faye levels the Lore Master, and Heart of a Hobbit says goodbye to the anniversary event. Also on Twitch, White 50 delves into history, Captain Fenhu goes on an adventure, and Stina has a happy Sunday. And over on YouTube, Space Game Junkie gets Barty, Mad Matt deeds off a cliff, and Aubrey the Weirdun says festival. Or maybe I should say festival!
Mad Matt's one of us. we
I
are
was
going
like,
to
I gotta
adopt
check
Mad
this out.
Matt. Even if Mad Matt doesn't want to be adopted, you're one of us now, Mad Matt. It's if you're going deeding off a cliff, welcome to the fold.
For our screenshot of the week, Aeralistus sends this pretty nice shot of Bag End and this week's screenshot of the week, and you could email your screenshot submissions to lotro@standingstonegames.com. And that's it for Beacon issue 204. So let's head into the store sales. Terry Adwin, what's on sale?
Let's see. Well, our coupon gets you a free dark green dye with the coupon code Spring Has Sprung, now through May 20th. And also through the 20th, you have 25% off Virtue Acceleration Tomes, Trait Slots, and Skill and Slayer deboosts.
Whee!
Also, for those people who are listening live and not the recording, because it's ended by the time it comes out, it is Pine Leaf Weekend. Skirmish Mark Acquisition Boost.
Skirmish Mark Acquisition Boost for all your skirmishing needs. Let's head into the site news then, and we will begin with A Berg's Tale, Chapter 20, which is... a little long, I'll say, and I think it's only half the length.
Yeah. I wrote it and it was really, really long, so I split it into two. So this is technically part 1 of the Weathertop instance, and then next week on Tuesday morning will be part 2 of the Weathertop instance. So I broke it into 2 because it was really huge, and it's still a little bit long, so fair warning. But yes. In a nutshell, we're heading up Weathertop with Candice and Morkendeer and Gammer, Miss Dandelion, the Guardian. And I think my byline, I don't know where it came from, but it was a play off of the AC/DC song. And it's this is what I put out there on Twitter was it's a long way to the top if you want to kill a troll. So yeah, guys, we're headed up there in the rain, because there's, it's nighttime in the rain. We're going up Weathertop uphill both ways, I guess. With all the shenaniganry that's going to come with it, because this is Morkendeer, and there's it's gonna happen. The snappy comebacks and craziness is going to be there that you've come to know and love.
Yes, we'll have to see who finishes the epic story first, Corey Olsen or Morkendeer, right?
Probably me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Morkendeer's not taking stock of the architecture.
Well, you have a choice. Yeah, you have a point there.
But yeah, one of the big problems I had with this particular portion of it is the instance is actually really long. By comparison to a lot of the other things that you can, stick 2 or 3 things in for like a chapter. This chapter, really long instance. That's why it's broken into 2. And I'm really not looking forward to like Karn Doom when he gets there. He probably will just be like, and we went through Karn Doom. It was terrible. Next. So yeah, that was it's a very strange couple of chapters this time, but I think that's because the instance was a little bit more involved and longer.
Then let us head into another article by Squirrel, which is Instance Boss Kill Information. And this is an article concerning the Stats tab on the Skirmish panel.
Hold up, what? Is this something new?
No, it's
Nope.
been around since they first released Skirmishes way back
Okay,
when.
I just hadn't noticed the stats part. Oh, I would guess because I was only working with the traits. Okay,
I
continue.
think I
Sorry.
mentioned on a show a little while back that when I noticed that missions were also being put onto this, which surprised me a little bit when I noticed that. But this does include not only skirmishes, but it also includes several other instances have been added onto it over the years. And this gives you your stats on how many monsters you can, like for example, in school, it's showing you on a screenshot he's got here, it shows you how many monsters you've killed while playing the school, how many marks you earned while running school, the number of times you've killed bosses there, and the number of times the bosses reset while you're running it. It gives you more in-depth stats concerning skirmishes. So these are, because on the left side they have your life. You could either show the lifetime or you could show the. And I think there's a button, if you notice, there's also a button there where you could say that you could hide under-leveled runs. So therefore, if you wanted to see how many you've run at level or higher, then you could uncheck that. It'll only show the ones that you've done at level or higher. And I leveraged that, I remember back when I was setting up to do my 1000th at level skirmish. So I was keeping the stats of the at level or higher ones, and I was using that to say when I hit 1000 in there, because since I was doing some of the research I was doing on skirmishes, I had to do some that were at lower level in order to get the information that I wanted. I didn't want those to be counted when I was counting towards the 1000 on, so that button came in handy for that situation. But you can keep track of the instances you've run, how many times you've run it, number of bosses you've killed, and stuff like that. And that's, I guess, maybe save someone a new player question at some point if they ask, Weston!
Thanks.
Stats panel question, yes. Let's then head into our pick of the week. And Terry, you had something you wish to show?
Yes, because Cosmetic LOTRO has another new outfit this week, and it didn't make the weekend.
Ooh.
And it is called New Moon. And it's basically a redo of an outfit that she's posted before. But the only thing that's the same is the cloak. So she goes back to a concept and basically kind of redoes the look. And I actually really love this look. This is another cosmetic chest piece that you get from the Gabilika for doing missions. So, one of the reasons to do missions.
And she's able to do all those gestures while holding up the blue orb?
The Palantir, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I never noticed that. So those are little things you can learn by seeing those. Let's head into our weekend gaming. And Arendis, what were you up to?
Well, I have not been able to be up to much lately with a bunch of real life stuff happening all at one time. So this is kind of what I've done over the last month and a half. I hope that's okay. I picked up a new Bjorning and have been working through low-level content. I just kind of wanted to go through the low-level content again, just to kind of get used to the game again, because it's been so long since I've picked it up. And I thought, hey, why not make a new character and just go through it and do it? So I did.
And of course, it was a bear.
It was a bear. I wanted something that was easily OP just so I could get back into it. And, in my philosophy, you can never have enough bears, but maybe that's just me.
They are fun.
I also was able to work through a little bit of the anniversary festival while that was still up, and I earned enough tokens for a cozy gray cat. He reminded me of my cat before he passed, so I thought that was really cool. As far as any other games, I've been working through the Bounty Hunter storyline in Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I've been enjoying it so far. It's
fun one.
Yeah, this is the first actual playthrough of any character in Star Wars: The Old Republic, so I'm trying to kind of take it slow and just enjoy all the content, and so far I'm really enjoying it. That was pretty much all I've been able to do. Calabathian, how was your week?
Okay. So, first of all, I ran through Wildwood dailies for rep clickies to open more quests in Wildwood. And that was on Tuesday with my Tuesday group, or y'all's Tuesday group that I kind of party crashed. But I did. It was like, hi, I busted in like the Kool-Aid man.
You were invited.
Kool-Aid man! Oh, yeah! But yeah, it was fun. One thing we had to kind of do was skirt some of the within set stuff and not go too deep, because just like nothing good happens when you go too deep. I mean, the dwarves, they delved too deep, and look, they found a Balrog. And here in these within set mines, they delve too deep, and lo and behold, there's spiders, gigantic, huge spiders. Nothing good happens when you're underground. Dwarves need to just forget about it and come up above ground and deal with it, because nothing good is underground anymore. I also solo warged on an early Sunday morning I just kind of wanted to go and do some turn-ins and actually take a chance to turn in my stuff to get, my little anniversary gift for Creekside. And I did. And it was like 9:30 in the morning or something for me on a Sunday morning. And there was activity out on the moors. There was a whole troop out there of like at least 12 people. And people were going back and forth at TA and other places. And it was great. I just was alone. And so I was running mostly invisible, picking some stuff up. And, I decided, hey, let's go pick some, let's go do some gardening in Whore Hollow. And so I went and gardened in Whore Hollow for a little bit and got killed by a berg out of the blue while gardening. Rude. I wasn't doing anything. I was just gardening. And this burglar just showed up out of nowhere and was like, stab, stab. And I died. And I was like, sir.
He didn't like the way you gardened then.
Apparently not. That, or maybe he didn't quite like the fertilizer I was using.
Hobbits?
In the field. Yes. But I also needed hobbit feet, okay? So sue me. Yeah. It was really funny because I'm going through and doing this, and I'm in the middle of Whore Hollow, killing the mayor and everything else. And all of a sudden, I see in OOC chat that there's a fruit headed either towards Lumber Camp or Whore Hollow. And I'm like, oh crap, I am one single ward. I'm going to be steamrolled. So I finished up very quickly with, the people I was biting and snacking on, and pretty much disappeared and hightailed it for a few minutes to basically see what was going on. And then when I came back to finish up what I was doing with the gardening, that's when a single berg decided to come out of hiding and stab me. And that was rude. So, yes. On Friday, I did a bit of glass blowing with the Academy group, eventually. After rampaging through brigands and spiders and Nurbig and goblins, oh my. But hey, there was glass blowing at the end. And then, trying to go back and forth when we didn't, get to Tinadir and stuff when we had no open. Yeah, there. Okay. And then we would forget, we had to go turn in this other thing, and it's like, oh crap, here we are in, at High King's Crossing where we were supposed to go, but we forgot to turn in stuff back in Dwayling, and yeah. It was one of those evenings. In other games, I played Civ 6 as Alexander the Great last night after the Academy stuff. Murderville and Slaughtertown are doing great, thanks.
Sound like cheerful places to visit, very safe.
Yes, and they are living up to their names.
I just don't like the idea that Copenhagen is right next to Slaughterville, I think.
Oh no.
Well, it's really only Slaughterville, for barbarians, and France, who is sandwiched in between us. And, she's gonna die horribly. Every time she would come up and denounce us and be like, I wonder what your friends would think of this information, because she doesn't like what we're doing. Wonder what your friends would think of this information. And I'm like, lady, my friends are all supportive of me, and I have a town called Slaughtertown and a town called Murderville. I don't think they're going to care what you found out. They're going to be like, oh yeah, that's her. And then finally, today, I got to Malavi Quinn and Star Wars with my female Sith warrior. Let the romancing begin. I've already flirted with him once. It was so great. He could not wait to raise this place to the ground, and I chose the flirt option for the first time because it was the first time it came up, and was like, am I exciting you, sir? And he was like, yeah, but it was great because the response to that was something about it. You're blushing. red you're getting. Yeah, life is complete. So, Guare, how about you? How was your week? Yee.
Well, in LOTRO, it was festivaling, and more festivaling. I'm kind of covering the few weeks since the last time I've been here. Yeah, made the most of the anniversary fest. I haven't got the permanent items yet, but I have enough torches of each kind to be able to get the permanent ones. Yes, many people and creatures were killed. I did not get the final card done for an anniversary cake. So hey guys, next year you want to go talk to Greg? All I need to do is like make faces at Dragok or something. It's just
It's on the list.
yeah, but it's just like that's the only thing I didn't get done. I did just randomly decide I was waiting for somebody to log back in and decided I'm going to run a skirmish. And I think I've mentioned in the past I have really bad RNG on defense of the prancing pony. There was one encounter I had not got. And when that bread showed up and the guy started complaining, I was so excited. Because I totally did the encounter, and I am now a defender of the prancing pony, and I can like start, doing. I think I'm like 2 away from. Is it assault on the ring racer or is it breach? I think it's breaching the gate. I'm 2 encounters away from getting that one done. Yeah, I've kind of started in my spare time doing some of those.
Hey, Guare, did you say when the bread showed up?
Yep.
Yeah, the bread in Prancing Pony skirmish.
White wheat.
Sparkling. It was glistening beautifully, and you gather it up to give to them in the inside, and it really ticks this guy off. And then you kick his butt.
And then he comes out and you can kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, because for some reason, I was like, wait,
it
bread?
was magical bread. It's shining and gorgeous, and I was so happy to see it because it meant that I could finally get the title.
I'm just what always gets me about that bread is that it's the people are hungry inside the pony. They're asking me they're so desperate to eat that they want us to gather bread that's been sitting outside.
Hey man, they're hungry.
Hey, we've had people ask us for worse stuff.
You've got a point.
Considering how many times I had to run that darn skirmish before I got the RNG to actually get that encounter, trust me, they've been in there a while. They don't care.
Could have been worse. Well, actually, maybe we should have gotten some ancient evil for them to eat with their like very stale and frozen bread.
I mean, it's right up there with ancient evil.
Yeah.
I didn't get
and and they can wash it down with whatever alcohol that is that the goblins have in Goblins of Stranvarth.
That's got to be some good stuff, though. Anyway,
I don't know.
NESO Part 1. I decided I needed an Argonian sorcerer, as you do. I don't know what struck me. I had the idea for a really awesome name. Her name is Waiting on Thunder. Yes, this is a Bob Seger lyric reference. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. That's only my second Magicka-based character, and it's a lot of fun. I also spent some time with Sans and Glenumbra on my original Nightblade, and that was a lot of fun. But I think she's going to talk about that, so I won't say much more. Part 2, maybe the bigger of the 2 parts here. The Shiny Duo spent plenty of time doing anything but starting the questing in Cold Harbor.
Oh, what a shot.
We've got our quest to go. We got a couple of things we've got to do and leave Hollow City, but it's much more fun to like go scry and get things for our house and see what the luxury vendor has. They did complete leveling the Citric Order Guild, which was a really good story. You can kind of see where things were going anyway. But the housing item they give you for that is great. That's all I'm going to say. And Ms. Shiny has 2 different skills for the Fighters Guild that she uses in her regular rotation. So she hit Fighters Guild Master, Skill Master, something like that. It basically I've leveled Fighters Guild all the way up to 10. And the awesome thing that I did not realize was I can now, if I really, really, really just need Dawnbreaker on some other character and they have the skill points, I can buy the Fighters Guild skill line.
Oh, nice.
And they don't have to go through it all. Actually, I think maybe the same thing is true of the Citric Order. I haven't really looked, but that's kind of fun going around and, you take your crafting surveys with you and you seal time breaches and kill things and gather stuff and yeah, I mean that's like a whole thing. That's Explorers Week. They're having some Explorers Week in ESO right now. I do that all the time. Anyway, Sans Window, what did you do this week?
Well, this week I tried convincing people to shut down the rhythm set mine for good. But no, they want it to be safe for people to get all the way down to the spiders for food. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They said that it was like more upstanding to make sure that people had a safe trip straight to the spiders. So you might want to check out those people, maybe send them in for like some psychiatric evaluations.
All I'm thinking now is of the fact that when you pay off your bounty to a fence in ESO, you become upstanding again. Is this the same kind of upstanding? Or you just kind of whitewashed it?
Probably. They're like, yeah, you think it would be really wrong to let these tunnels cave in, and I'm like, why would I think that? There are spiders at the bottom. Anyway, I think caving in the tunnels would actually be a very upstanding thing and right thing to do, but apparently we're not supposed to notice or think about the fact that there are spiders at the bottom who want to eat everybody. If they gave me a flamethrower and like let me permanently extinguish them, I could maybe forgive them for wanting to open it. But yeah, they won't let me do that. So yeah, no, it should not be opened and nobody will listen to me. Also, I helped people in Evendom and did some swimming while smoking, which was pretty funny, for the field trip. Because we did the whole lake/smoke while mounted thing, and then we're gliding around. And then you glide through the water while smoking still. It's pretty fun. Even when you're dismounted. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And we helped lots of people. We went rampaging around and were helpful. So that was pretty good. And then I did some questing in Glenumbra with Gorindas in ESO, and we found a cool library that was mostly peaceful, and we helped a couple ghosts, and one of them was like, not every place like this will have people as nice as me in it. We're like, oh, you don't say. So yeah, that was pretty fun, but there was one room we couldn't get into, which was kind of disappointing because it looked like it had even more bookshelves to read.
How dare.
I know, but it was cool anyway. And we gave the information about where it was to a scholar, so I'm sure it's going to turn out fine. And have been playing more Dragon Quest Builders 2 with my nephew, and we got Cinders Involved 2 for Mother's Day, and I think she's been having fun too, so that's been a lot of fun for all of us to be able to do together. So, it's pretty much my week. How was your week, Terry?
Well, I didn't do a lot in LOTRO because I'm still kind of burned out from missions. So I really just ran around with the Tuesday group, assuring Sans that we didn't have to face the spiders again just yet, and it was going to be fine. So we didn't need to set everything on fire because we weren't dealing with spiders.
She does make a good point. She was very reassuring. I just still think we should have collapsed the mine.
I have been playing a lot of Star Wars, especially with Calibathian. I had made my female sniper to run with her male sniper because of the whole flirt thing. And so we got through Balmora, which was a lot of fun. We did the planetary quest on that pair, so she got to be annoyed at Grand Marshal Chiquetta because he's so annoying. So I was really glad we shot him in the face. But then my character won the roll and we didn't kill him because I'm running a light side sniper. to her dark side sniper. And then also in Star Wars, it occurred to me that I hadn't actually completed the Sith Sorcerer storyline with a male character. I've done it twice as a female character. So I made a new guy, and I'm running him light side but still snarky. So that's also it's very entertaining. A lot of the Sorcerer lines are very snarky anyway, just because of the background for the character. Yeah, it's
Sorcerer?
yeah, the Inquisitor. Your Inquisitor class split is a sorcerer and assassin.
Okay.
So it's Sith Inquisitor. But you don't actually pick Inquisitor anymore. You have to pick. It used to be you had to level up to level 10, and then you could pick which branch you wanted to go, whether you wanted to do the tanky one or the other one. And now you actually pick it from character generation, which I actually think is better. But so yeah, it's Sith Sorcerer is the subclass, but Inquisitor is the main class. The not martial one. That'll be really interesting later on down the road. Just because of how the story goes. Piley, what were you up to?
And I was up to on my Arnor Warden. I survived the Battle of Pelennor Fields, and I reached level 105. So that's the level cap on Arnor. And I got, as a reward for that, the ugliest portrait frame I ever recall seeing in LOTRO.
Worse than the one for the dwarves? The new one you could barter for? Because remember, you didn't like that one very well either.
I can't even remember what that one looks like. I must have
Boy,
masked that out from my mind. I must have masked out the dwarf one from my mind. But
I
this one
I
is
seem
really...
at the time, I seem to recall that you said you put it on and looked at it and went, and took it off again.
Well, I guess I would say something similar to this one. This one is based on the Black Gate.
Oh.
So I'm not too keen about having the Black Gate as my portrait frame. So there might be some people who would like the look of that, but to me, I don't know, it's just too dark. Yeah. Over in ESO, my main completed the storyline for the Reach, and I reached level 50. So that's the first time I got a character up to... It's hard to say whether you call that level cap or not, considering that you have all these champion points to gather afterwards. So I've started on my quest of gathering up champion points on this character, which is 40. I think I got about 40 right now, so it's 40 down and 1,160 to go.
Some ridiculous number like that, yeah.
Yeah, some ridiculous number like that. But anyway, I've gotten up on there, and I was hoping that, if you're level cap, does that mean you don't have to worry about additional tiers of crafting? It's just, nope. I have gone through... I went completely through the birch tier, and now I'm at the ash tier. I said, oh boy, I got 3 more tiers, I think, of crafting to go and all this stuff. Oh boy. Anyway, that's what I've been up to in ESO, except for one other little thing that I did afterwards, and that is in my endless effort to avoid going to Cold Harbor, I decided to run the storyline in it's Somerset Isle or whatever they call that island down where all those elves live. And while there, I picked up the Citric Order quest line because this is the first time I ever done Somerset Isle, and it's the first time thus that I ever visited the island of the Citrics. So I picked up the Citric Order quest line, and I just came to the beginning of this, and right now I'm supposed to be seeking that item that apparently eventually turns into a housing item, which I think, or something like that, based on earlier conversations here. So I have a feeling that's going to be an interesting little storyline to go, and I have a feeling I'll be spending a lot of time on that, especially since if this is going to be sending you all over the place looking for these.
Whatever
Yes.
keeps you out of Cold Harbor, right?
Well, it's partly to keep me out of Cold Harbor, but if I'm going all over the place in order to do this, then it also helps me to go to all over these places where I'll be doing stuff with antiquities, because I have this goal to try to get as many zones as possible to try to fill out the antiquities and finding them all in there.
Yep.
So I do have to get into Cold Harbor at some point because I do have to find some antiquities in there, unfortunately. But yeah, so I have a feeling I'll be spending some time with the Citric Order storyline, and maybe someday I could find my way into Cold Harbor, but I think I've said that before, and I haven't been there since, right? And that's my week in gaming. Over and beyond LOTRO, we have another little tribute from the Darren Loremaster, where this song is called Noldor Reflections. This is set to the tune of In the End. The tune is by Linkin Park, and he includes a song recording plus the lyrics to the song. Our top supporter this month is LOTRObuild.com. This is a collection of full LOTRO databases, including an items database, a relics database, and a titles database. You could also use it right from your Discord server with LOTRObuild bot. We currently have 16 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious rate of players and help support LOTRO players, you could go to the donations page, where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money would be used for podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you feel like send us one, you can send it to podcast@LOTROplayers.com. You can also follow us at Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Ally, LOTRO Players at LOTRO Players, Arendis at Arendis, Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles, Sanswinda at Sanswinda, Terry Edwin at Terry Edwin, Guarendis at Guarendis, and Calabathian at Calabathian. LOTRO Players News is recorded on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. US Eastern Time, and you could join us for our live shows at lotroplayers.com/live. That is all for tonight, and this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.